more general ideas about like what is this spot, right? Not like should I bet my hand because it's solver approved, although we should always be informing our strategy with theory. But like when we get checked to twice, it's just, does my opponent have enough good hands? Like do they have enough good hands that they're gonna call enough when I bluff at them? Like no, right? They just probably don't. So like let's just bluff, right? And so like what's happening, what I can tell is happening, and part of it's because of the stream and stuff like that, but like your attention is sort of honing in at the moment of decision, looking at the situation and just deciding, do I bet? As opposed to taking in the situation as some like a thing that's unfolding between two people and like taking every action as meaning something, right? So like he checks again. Okay, like he doesn't have a strong hand. Right? Like he just doesn't have a strong hand. Or like, for example, on the river, he put in a small bet when the ace came. Like, let's just raise him. Like always. Like, let's just raise, right? Like he checks twice and then puts in a small bet. Like we'll have a lot of ace X. Like he could be going he could have a very weak hand. His small bet just forecasts weakness. Like we want to like have an emotional connection. Like, and this is why being present and connecting to the game, and why poker is not just an intellectual exercise. We want to be connected to the flow of what's happening with every aspect of ourselves, right? Like we want to be thinking about like game flow and like what do our opponent's actions mean about the way that they're playing. Like we want to be deeply connected to the game and making decisions based on that connection, not like is this a good or bad decision. It's like you'll see me make all sorts of bonkers decisions playing, right? Like when I stream, which I'm streaming tonight, but like when I stream, I'll bluff in all sorts of spots and like make all sorts of decisions, and it's not based on like what I think is like right. It's just like I don't think my hand is good based on the way this hand has played out, and I think your actions demonstrate weakness, and so like I'm just on the attack, and that is all that you need, but in order to get that, you have to be connecting to the game enough to where you actually have that data to act on, right? You actually have that information to act on. And it's not like you remember, like you're in a game against another person and their actions display some way that they're feeling, some way that they're thinking about the shot, some mental state that they're in. And it's important to remember that when you're playing this game. Like you're not just clicking buttons and playing a computer. It's not just like trying to get the right or wrong decision. Like do I bluff or do I not bluff? It's they check, this means something, that there's a person on the other side of the screen who feels a certain way, and that would cause them to check. And what is that? Anyway.
Nice. Yeah, I have those like feelings, feels sometimes, but like you said, when I'm not connected and like 100% there, definitely I just like go on autopilot and check.
Well, and it's also, I think you also have those feelings, but then sometimes you don't know when to act on them. Yeah,
exactly, yeah.
But to remember that, no, that is all that the game is. Like the whole game is just getting a sense for where we're at, using the theoretical knowledge we have to enforce then what we do based on that knowledge, and then acting. None of it, no part of playing poker is doing the right thing. None of it. So in any play, so like for example, when you had ace queen and you're like killing yourself facing this raise, right?
Yeah.
Just fold. It doesn't matter if it's right or wrong or not. Like there's no right or wrong, right? Like you have this sense that like this is just a terrible spot, and it's hard, right? Over time, I mean, it's tough because sometimes you're just afraid and there's no good reason for it. So like there's a lot of like, it takes time and experience to learn the difference here. But that is the game we're playing. The game we're playing is moving along this path of deeper connection to the moment of the hand that we're in, and making a decision based on this hand in this situation, on all the nuance that's happening right here, right now. It's not breaking this game down to a decision that we can then feel like we can make a right or wrong decision, right? Like that's the path of progress. Doesn't go that way. It goes the other way. It goes more nuance, more context. Like each hand is its own hand that will never be played again against this person in this environment, in this situation. Each hand, no solver shows you the actual hand. It's a simplification of it. It's a toy game. It's a representation of what a hand might be, and we can use those to inform our knowledge. But when you're actually playing, you're playing this hand against this person in this moment, and that hand is completely unique. And the path of progress is becoming deeper and deeper connected to this moment, this hand, and trusting ourselves more and more and more to act on what we know is the case.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Literally, so good. Yeah, that's why like I see the difference when I'm watching your streams, like, and when I'm like witnessing you playing. Like, I sense the freedom, because like you're so free with all the hands. You never say like solver problems, we need to do this here, probably we need to like I don't know, like you don't say okay by solver it's probably cool, etc, etc. You're like, okay, I have my